SAM is a collection of wireless building blocks and a cool app for you to explore your creativity and imagination. Each SAM block has its own unique skill, a light, a motor, a button and more. You wirelessly connect each SAM block together in the SAM Space app to program your awesome hacks, pranks and inventions. This project is all about speed. Speed is the measurement of how fast something travels from one place to another. And we're going to be testing that out by building a race car using SAM blocks and testing out how fast that can go. And once you've got the hang of that, we're going to be building some light timing gates so you can measure speed like a pro. For this project, you'll need a button, 2 DC motors, a SAM car with some wheels, and for the second part of the project, we're also going to be using 2 light sensors too. Now, in this project, I'm using this SAM car that I've got already built, but you could be building your own car with bits of cardboard or anything else. All you need to do is make sure you've got something to hold these DC motors in place, and that'll turn a wheel. To work out speed, the following 2 things must be known: the distance traveled, the time taken to travel that distance. The equation looks like this: speed equals distance over time. For example, meet Sam. If Sam ran from one end of the park to the other, which is 200 meters, and it took him 20 seconds, what speed did Sam run? Yes, 10 meters per second. If we want to be really exact in measuring the speed of something, we could use timing gates. Timing gates are used all the time in sprint testing, where tenths of a second are vital in a race. They are even more reliable than stopwatches because they measure the time it takes an object to pass from one gate to another. Our timing gates are light sensors. They work by detecting the shadow of the car as it passes by, and the sensors record the time. If you stick 2 gates apart from each other, we can use the same formula to work out how fast the object is traveling. So let's start planning our project on paper. Paper is a great place to start because it allows us to make mistakes and think about our project sequentially. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to power these 2 DC motors. They're going to be turning our wheels on our vehicle. First of all, we need to initiate that. So we need a button to trigger the whole thing off at the start. So we'll start with a button and we'll press the button, and I would like it to count down. Okay, so I'm actually going to put a delay here. So a delay allows us to count down 3, 2, 1 and then go. So our delay will be there, and I'm going to put 3 seconds on our delay. And then I want it to hold the power for a period of time. Now, I don't want it to go on forever. I don't want it to go smash through and go into the next classroom or anything like that. I just want it to travel for about 5 seconds. So I'm going to hold the signal for about 5 seconds, okay? We're going to power the DC motors. They're connected now to each DC motor. There we go, and they're connected to wheels on either side. DC, DC. So there we go, that's my plan. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the SAM app and put this all together. So first things first, our button, our trigger. So we're going to drag that onto our canvas here. The second thing I said was we were going to do a delay. Now that's just up here. If we go right to the top here, we can see we've got interval counter and delay. So there's our delay. I'm going to drag that on here, and I'm going to double tap it. And we've got that hours, minutes, and seconds. I said we were going to do 3 seconds, so I'm going to press that there like this, and press OK. Connect these 2 things together as well while I'm here. Okay, so they're connected. Now we're going to go to the next section, which is our hold button. So this holds the signal, so I'm going to drag this across here, and we're going to hold that for 5 seconds, so our car doesn't keep going for more than 5 seconds. Okay, and then we get our 2 DC motors. Now if we go all the way to the bottom on the left here, we can see we've got some larger SAM blocks, and there's our DC motors. So I want one there and one here, and we're just going to connect that one, there we go, and the next one down here like that. Okay, let's test this on the screen. So I'm going to press the button on screen like this. We have a countdown for 3 seconds, and then you should see just on the right hand side the 2 DC motors are starting to turn around, so that's really good. So it seems to be working in principle on the screen. So now we get to do the exciting bit, which is building the car. So this is the car kit that I've got here, and we've got our 2 DC motors. Now they fit just gently in here, but before we put them in, let's just switch them on first and make sure that they're connected wirelessly to the project over here. So that's one, and that's another one. And you can see they've changed lights so they can see that they are actually communicating with the project over there. So I'm going to just push them into these slots here. 1 and 2. And then I've got to put the wheels on as well and tuck it in. There we go, that's one wheel. And let's turn this over as well. And that's another wheel. So we've got our car built, we've got our button, our trigger ready, and just test the wheels out just on my desk. So if I press the button now, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, and there's a problem. It's just spinning round and round in circles. It's not going forward, it's not racing across the room. The reason for that is basically because each of the DC motors are going in a clockwise position. So this one's going that way, and if I turn around the other way, it's still going that way. So they're kind of, it's going to spin round in circles. Now the reason for that is because it's in clockwise, and I can actually go into my SAM app over here, and I can change the direction. I can do one going clockwise and one, there we go, easy as peasy, one going anti-clockwise. And that means when I press this button again, both of the wheels will spin forward. So let's get on the floor and have a race. 3, 2, 1. So that was 4 meters and 83 centimeters. So that is distance, okay? And we now know that we've also got how long it took. So our car was traveling for only 5 seconds. So we've got 5 seconds, okay? So now we've got distance and we've got time. So now we should be able to use our formula. The formula is speed equals distance over time. So if we look at this and we say 4 meters 83, well, it's nearly 5 meters. So we could say it's nearly 1 meter per second. So I wonder if you can work out how many kilometers an hour that is. We spoke a little bit about light timing gates, and these are the light sensors that we can actually use. So I'm going to demonstrate them here, and you can actually have a downloadable resource to open up this project so you can have a play with it for yourself. But I'm going to just walk you through them and show you how it all works. So these light sensors are amazing. They can actually detect different levels of light. So if a car would pass in front of it, we can actually use that as a trigger. So if I put one here, for example, and one over here, and then measure the distance between these 2 points, we have an accurate point of distance, okay? So I'm going to call that gate 1, and I'm going to call this one gate 2. Now, on the SAM app over here, we've actually connected these gates together. So here's one gate in this area over here, and this is connected to this thing here, which is called a map. Now, the map actually responds to different light levels. So if a shadow does pass through it, that will create a trigger. The trigger then goes along to this little thing here, which is called a toggle, and that will toggle something on or off. When it toggles it on, when it passes through the first one over here, it toggles it on, and that goes to our interval timer. So these are our 2 light gates. The car travels past the first light gate, and as it's just past it, that's when it will trigger the counter. So the counter is now going round and round and round in milliseconds until we go past the second light gate. So as the shadow's passed, then it toggles it back off, and we get a really accurate time of how long it's taken between these 2 points. So in all this kind of stuff, we've been able to experiment, have fun, and explore different ways that speed works with our SAM products. Remember, if you've created a project, you can easily share it with the SAM community online. Simply press the share button over here and you get a new share page. You can add pictures of your project, a short description, the materials you've used, even deeper instructions about how to do it. Once you press the share button, your project will be shared with the SAMLab community at samlabs.com, where others can try it for themselves and get inspired.